roads into Black Moshannon State Park take us on a journey to the very beginning of transportation history in Pennsylvania. Prior to the 19th century, imagine the towering virgin forest blocking out the midday sun and Native American trails weaving through the Great Penn's woods. Roads, turnpikes, and other advances in transportation would certainly transform this landscape. By 1794, the first successful private turnpike in America was established from Philadelphia to Lancaster. By 1799, as settlement expanded westward over the Commonwealth, there was need for access to the northwest corner of the state, especially Lake Erie. The primary path for early travel to this region was based upon the Bald Eagle Path over the Allegheny Front. This became the Old State Road, or Bald Eagle Road, and later proved vital to supplying Commodore Perry's fleet during the War of 1812. By 1821, the local section of the Bellefonte to Phillipsburg Turnpike, or B&P Turnpike, along PA 504, was connected to the Philadelphia-Erie Pike. Extending from Philadelphia, the pike made its way through Center County to Presque Isle on Lake Erie. This is where Presque Isle Street in Phillipsburg gets its name. The development of turnpikes not only increased connections and trade networks across the state, but it had a direct impact on Center County's development as well. By definition, a turnpike is a toll road, with a toll gate or pike placed at a toll house where one paid to use the road. Because 19th century roads were so expensive to build, the Philadelphia-Erie Turnpike was a series of smaller turnpike companies. Locals would buy stock in the smaller turnpikes in order to get the main route to go to their town. The tolls would help pay the gatekeeper and help maintain the roads. As road access and settlement increased, taverns and inns emerged along the pike, like the Auntie's House in Black Moshannon State Park and the Rattlesnake Inn near the spring along 504 above Unionville. If you departed with your team and wagon early in the morning from Phillipsburg, you likely stopped at either the Auntie's House or further down Rattlesnake Pike at the Rattlesnake Inn before you proceeded to Bellefonte. You can also imagine that with over 43,000 acres of Moshannon State Forest today, there were a good amount of wildlife such as panthers and rattlesnakes back then. The local fare, if you took room and board, might even be boiled rattlesnake. Looking closer at these historic milestones, you can make out hand-carved inscriptions. After all, this is the Bellefonte and Phillipsburg Turnpike, or Rattlesnake Pike. Looking at it, you can see T.O.B., meaning to Bellefonte, 12 miles. And you can also make out the other one, T.O.P., meaning to Phillipsburg, 16 miles. This makes perfect sense because it's about 28 miles between Bellefonte and Phillipsburg. After the Bellefonte to Phillipsburg Turnpike, the next leg is the Phillipsburg to Susquehanna Turnpike, or P&S, then on to Waterford, PA. These local turnpikes make up the Philadelphia-Erie Turnpike system. The increased access into the rich Black Moshannon Forest inevitably led to extensive logging operations. The Beaver Mill Lumber Company utilized logging roads and railways to harvest the white pines and hemlocks. The village of Beaver Mills and Antes flourished with the logging boom, along with a schoolhouse that peaked at 65 students in the late 1800s. But by 1926, when almost all the timber was felled and peeled and cut and run through the mills, the school closed and these logging towns vanished. As we conclude our journey, let us also note that if it were not for the Civilian Conservation Corps at Beaver Meadow Camp 71 during the 1930s, we would not be able to enjoy the state park or the reforested Black Moshannon area today.